Islam, Islam, Islam. I would like to welcome everyone to our Holy Night Call brought to you by the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Inc. Number 13, Moorish American National Republic, under the direct leadership of our National Grand Chief Joe Bratton Bey and the Grand Nobles of our temple. I am Sheikess Alyssa Thomas Bey, and I will be facilitating our Holy Night Call this creation. Before we begin, first I would like to rise. I give all perfect praises to Allah, all of the divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, and Confucius, our prophet in these days and time, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his first, second, and third form, our National Grand Sheikh Joel Batten Bey, all of our national officials, all of our sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, members, citizens, students, and guests, and our children. I greet you all with Islam. We will now open up in prayer. All those who are able, please rise, facing the east, feet at a 45-degree angle, 5 fingers close together on the left, 2 fingers close together on the right, and repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. At this time, I'm going to read the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Crescent Moon and Star, All-Seeing Eye of Allah, Handpress of Unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Founder. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may cause harm, may cause his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and a divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance his father, God Allah, Islam. That concludes the reading of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Can I have a volunteer to read the additional bylaws? Islam?
Islam, Sheikhs.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh, all is well?
Indeed, all is well. All is well with you and the family.
Yes, it is. Thank you for asking. I hear you loud and clear, and you have the floor.
Thank you much, and it's good to hear your vibration. Islam family, this is your brother, Deputy Sheikh, Mainstream Grade Bay 44, and I'm calling out of the Massachusetts Commonwealth. First and foremost, I'd like to rise to my highest heights and give all perfect praise, pardon self, to our Mother, Father, God, Allah. I would like to remain standing and extend honors to all true and divine prophets, known and unknown, recognizing and naming Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and to our last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Drew Ali, first, second, and third form. I remain standing and extend homage to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bay, to all our national officials, our sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, and to our family, friends, visitors, to our illustrious future, our children. I greet you all with Islam. Happy holy day, holy night, to all the Moors on the call, to all the Muslims all over the world. Islam. I'll be reading a questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheiks and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses, each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their adept meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation, and if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hand, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his five senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Allah, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Pardon self. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of falling humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Allah, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Islam, and there concludes the reading of our additional laws. I return the floor back to you, Sheikhis. Thank you for the time. Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Deputy Sheik, Mainstream Grade A 44, for the reading of the questioning and additional laws for Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble Drew. Islam. Islam family. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for our members check-in. Any members that would like to put their energy on the floor and check in, please press ** to unmute your line at this time. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, is that Deputy Sheik Herms L?
Islam, beloved Sheik S. You're correct. Deputy Sheik Herms L, calling out of the Washington State Republic.
Islam.
Nice to hear your vibration tonight. It's feeling really high. And I'd just like to say to all my brothers and sisters all around the world, all the Moors and the Moabites all around the world, Islam, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and happy holy day to all the Muslims. Islam, and I yield the floor.
Islam. Giving thanks, Deputy Sheik, for checking in with us and the family tonight. It is great to hear your vibration. Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, I understand day. I'm 5. Happy holy day.
Islam, sister. Islam, sister Anira Sanders Bay. Thank you for checking in.
Thank you.
Happy Holy Night. I miss you.
I miss you too, Alyssa.
Thank you. Peace
You're
and love.
welcome, Alyssa.
Peace and love. Islam.
Islamic peace, 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 peace.
Peace. Thank you, Sister Naira, for checking in. Islam, the floor is still open to any member that would like to check in at this time. Please press star to unmute your line.
Islam.
Islam, sister, is that my good sister Shelly Wade Bay?
No, this is Carlin.
Say it again, sister.
Carlin Jenkins L.
Oh, Islam, sister.
I just want to wish everyone a happy holy night.
Islam, sister. Thank you, Sister Colin Jenkins L, for checking in. My apologies. You and my other sister sound alike, but that's a compliment.
It's all right. It's all love.
Thank you for checking in, sister. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam. This is Brother Powell L from Indianapolis, Marion County, Republic. Just wanted to send my Islam to all the ones on the call tonight. Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Power L, for checking in and sending your love to the family. Thank you for joining us. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam. This is Brother Gore Ill, checking in from the South Carolina Republic. I'd like to wish all the Moors on the call happy holy day, happy holy night. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Gore L, for checking in with the family and sharing your energy and vibration on the call tonight. Thank you. Islam. Islam, sister.
Islam. This is Sister Emily Nader Bay calling out of the New York Republic. Wishing every Muslim on the call happy holy day, happy holy night, and happy holy night to all the Muslims around the world. Peace and love to all. Islam.
Islam. Giving thanks, Sister Emily Nader Bay, for checking in, putting your vibration on the floor. Such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for checking in, family. Peace and love. Islam, the floor is still open for any member to check in. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, sister.
Islam Sheikah. This is Sister Darlene Gore-El checking in from the Connecticut Republic. Wishing all the Muslims on the call and around the world a happy holy day and happy holy night. Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Sister Geraldine Gore-El, for checking in and sharing your positive vibration on the floor. Thank you for calling. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam, Sister Alyssa. This is Brother Lemuel.
Oh, yes. I recognize that voice. Islam, brother. You have the floor.
I was waiting to see if you'd recognize it. Islam is to say peace and love and holy night to all Muslims out there.
Islam, Brother Lemuel. Giving thanks for your presence. Giving thanks for you checking in. And yes, I remember your voice. Islam.
Islam, sister. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam. Did I hear a sister on the says Islam? Or just
Islam. No, it was probably just me. You got the floor, brother.
Islam. Islam Sheikah. All is well.
All is truly well with me. All is well with you and the family?
Yes, all is well. All is well. This is your brother, Jermaine Michael Fowler Ill, calling out of New Jersey Republic, saying to all the Moors and Muslims across the world, happy holy day, happy resurrection day, and love. Peace, peace, peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Jermaine Fowler L, for calling in, checking in with the family, and putting your vibration on the floor. It's good to have you. Islam. Islam family, the floor is still. Islam, sister.
Islam, Sheikhs. This is Marian Tuma calling from the Marian Tuma L, pardon self, calling from the New York Republic. Just want to wish everybody on the call a happy holy night and Shabbat Shalom. Islam.
Islam. Sister Marian Tuma L, giving thanks for you calling in and sharing your vibration with us tonight. Thank you, Islam, sister. Islam family, the floor is still open for anyone that would like to speak in. Islam, Deputy Sheikh.
Islam, Sheikhs. All is truly well with you and the family?
All is truly well with me and the family. Trust that all is well with you and the family.
Indeed, all is truly well. Then good to hear your vibrations tonight.
Likewise. You have the floor, brother.
Thank you much. Dear Deputy Sheikh Michael Cincinnati Jr., calling out of Wayne County, Michigan Republic, checking in. Want to say happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and to all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Islam?
Islam. Giving thanks, Deputy Sheikh Michael Cincinnati L, for checking in and sharing your energy and vibration on the call tonight. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, sister, is that Deputy Sheikh?
It sure is, Deputy Sheikh. Norma Solomon Ill, calling out of the Bronx County in the New York Republic. How are you this evening, Sheikis?
I am well. Thank you for asking. Trusting the same is for you?
All is truly well. Praise Allah. It is so good to hear your vibration on this beautiful holy night, as well as all of the Moors that are on this call, and to all the Moors around the world. A happy holy day, happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Peace.
Islam. Deputy Sheikh Norma Solomon L. Thank you so much, sister, for checking in and sharing your positive vibration on the floor, sister. Islam. Islam family, the floor is still open.
Islam.
Islam, sister.
Islam, Deputy Sheikhs. This is Sister Nora Joseph L. calling out of the Florida Republic. All is well?
All is truly well, sister. Trust that all is well with you and the family.
Yes, very well. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes, calling to say happy holy night to all the Muslims on the call and around the world. Happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Peace and love. Islam.
Islam, Sister Nora Joseph L. Giving thanks to you checking in with the family and sharing your vibration on the call tonight. Thank you, sister. Islam family, the floor is still. Islam, is that Deputy Sheikh?
Indeed it is. Islam, Sheikh, all is well with you and the family?
Yes, all is really well with me and the family, and I'm trusting all is well with you and the family as well.
Yes, indeed. You know it is. You know it is. Definitely want to. Deputy Sheikh Cornelius Sanders Bay, calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Just want to wish all the Muslims on the call and not on the call and all around the world a happy holy day, happy holy night, Juma Mubarak, Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Deputy Sheikh Cornelius Sanders Bay, for checking in and sharing your vibration with the call this evening. Giving thanks, brother. Islam. Islam family, the floor is still open.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam, Sheikhs, World to Star.
How are you, brother? I'm trying to learn as many voices. It's taking me a while, but I think I know who it is, but I don't want to mess it up, so I'll give you the floor. Islam.
Islam. Trust that you and the royal family are well. This is your brother, Sheikh.
Yes.
This is your brother, Sheikh Cook Breaker out of Florida Republic.
I knew it.
Wishing all Muslims worldwide, east, west, north, and south, a blessed holy day, blessed holy night. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Peace and love and light. Islam, my world sister.
Islam, Sheikh Cook Bay, giving thanks for you checking in and sharing your vibration with the family. I was 90% sure, but the other 10% I had doubts, so I was like, let me just let you do it so I wouldn't mess it up. So Islam, thank you, brother. Islam, family, the floor is still open for anyone that would like to check in with us at this time. Islam? Okay, Islam. We'll come back to the seconds. So this Holy Night creation, we will be looking at chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. And before we get into the reading, I'm just briefly going to share some text corrects for anybody that would like to jot them down and actually look into their Circa 7 and just make the corrections. So the text correct, the first one is verse 4. Insert the word for between knots and thyself, rendering love it not for thyself. So verse 4, insert the word for between the word not and thyself, rendering love it not for thyself. And verse 11, replace the word so with the word as, rendering not as long as thou canst. Verse 14, correct spelling from fullness, which is spelled as Fullness, to fullness, Fullness. Verse 16, strike the period after the word not and add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Verse 17, add a question mark after the word longer. Verse 32, replace the word in with is. Islam. So at this time, can I get a volunteer to read chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom?
Islam.
Islam, brother.
This is Brother Gore Ill from the South Carolina Republic.
Islam, Brother Goel. I hear your vibrations loud and clear, and you have the floor.
Islam. This is Brother Gore Ill from the South Carolina Republic. But first, I would like to rise to my highest heights and give all perfect praise to our Mother, Father, God of the universe, known as Allah. I give honor to our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet of these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Drew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. Extending honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey, our national officials, our sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, and members, I greet you all with Islam. I will now commence with the reading of the Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. As the eye of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the owl, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man. Though bright, it dazzles not. Though obscure, it displeaseth not. Though sweet, it cloyeth not. Though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Yet who is he that knoweth its true value? Learn to esteem as thou art, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom. Think not with the fool that nothing is more valuable, nor believe with the pretend wise that thou oughtest to condemn it. Love is not for thyself, but for the good it may be of to others. Gold cannot buy it for thee, neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment thou hast now lost it. Employ the succeeding ones in virtue. Say not that it were best not to have been born, or if born, that it has been best to die early. Neither dare thou to ask of thy Creator, where has been the evil, had I not existed? God is thy power. The want of good is evil. And if thy question be just, lo, it condemneth thee. Would the fish swallow the bait if he knew the hook were hidden therein? Would the lion enter the toils if he saw they were prepared for him? So neither were the soul to perish with this clay, neither would a merciful Father have created him. No hence thou shalt live afterwards. As the bird enclosed in the cage before he seeth it, yet teareth not his flesh against its side, so neither labor thou vainly to run the state thou art in, but know it is allotted thee, and be content with it. Though its ways are uneven, yet they are not all painful. Accommodate thyself to all, and where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. When thy bed is straw, thou sleepest in security, but when thou stretch thyself on roses, beware of the thorns. A good death is better than an evil life. Strive therefore to live as long as thou oughtest, not as long as thou canst. While thy life is to others worth more than thy death, it is thy duty to preserve it. Complain not with the fool of the shortness of thy time. Remember, with thy days the cares are shortened. Take from the period of life, thy life the useless part of it, and what remaineth. Take off the time of thine infancy, thy second infancy of age, thy sleep, thy thoughtless hours, thy days of sickness, and even at thy fullness of years, how few seasons hast thou truly numbered. He who gave thee life as a blessing shortened it to make it more so. To what end would longer life have served thee? Wishest thou to have an opportunity of more vices? As to the good, will not. He who limited thy span, be satisfied with the fruits of it. To what end, O child of sorrow, wouldst thou live longer? To breathe, to eat, to see the world? All this thou hast done often already. Through frequent repetition, it is not tiresome. Or is it not superfluous? Wouldst thou improve thy wisdom and thy virtue? Alas, what art thou to know? Or who is it thou shalt teach thou? Badly thou employest the little thou hast. Dare not, therefore, to complain what the more is not given thee. Repine not at thy want of knowledge. It must perish within the grave. Be honest here. Thou shalt be wiser thereafter. Say not unto the crow, why numberest thou 7 times thy Lord? Or to the fawn, why art thine eyes to see my offspring in 100 generations? Are these to be compared with thee in the abuse of life? Are thy righteous? Are thy cruel? Are they ungrateful? Learn from them rather than innocence of manners are the paths of good old age. Knowest thou to employ life better than these? Then less of it may suffice thee. Man who dares enslave the world when he knows he can enjoy this tyranny but for a moment, what would he not aim at if he were immoral? Enough hast thou of life, but thou regardest it not. Thou art not in want of it, O man, but thou art prodigal. Thou threwest it lightly away, as if thou hadst more than enough, and yet thou repentest that is not gathered again unto thee. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy. The wise continued to live from his first period, the fool is always beginning. Labor not after riches first, and think thou wilt afterwards enjoy them. He who neglected the present moment, throw away all that he had. As the arrow passes through the heart while the warrior knew that it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before he knoweth that he hath it. What then is life? What man should desire it? What breathing that he should covet it? It is not a scene of delusion, a series of misadventures, a pursuit of evils linked on all sides together. In the beginning it is ignorance, pain is in its middle, and its end is sorrow. As one wave pusheth on another, till both are involved in that behind them, even so succeeded evil to evil in the life of man, the greater the present swallow up the lesser in the past. Our terrors are real evils. Our expectations look forward into the impossibilities. Fools to dread as mortals and to desire as if immortal. What part of life is it that we should wish to remain with us? Is it youth? Can we be in love with outrage, licentious, and temerity? Is it age? Then we are fond of infirmities. It is said gray hairs are revered and length of days is honored. Virtue can add reverence to the bloom of youth, and without it, age plants more wrinkles in the soul than on the forehead. Is age respected? It hath riot. What justice is it this when it is not age that despiseth pleasure, but pleasure that despiseth age? Be virtuous while thou art young, and so shall thine age be honored. And that concludes this reading, and I return the call back to the moderator. Islam and peace.
Islam, giving thanks, Brother Goel, for the reading of chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. Islam. Beautiful read. At this time, I will go into reading the commentaries for this chapter. This chapter, the fourth of the Know Thyself unit, completes the higher self instructions on soul opening with 4 similes relating to the natures of the lark, the owl, the bee, and the vulturine, order to express the essence of life being inspiration to the heart of man. Verse 2 expresses various qualities of life as well as life's obtrusive functioning while querying us as to our perception of the true value of life. Next, we are told to learn that esteem is honor or value expressed through honor and respect to better position ourselves in our quest to live wisdom. Placing right balance and perspective on life is the lesson. In the words of Grand Sheikh Rashid Zingu L, Miss your lessons, miss your blessings. Now we receive solid advice on life's proper value. Love it not for thyself, but for the good your life may be of to others. Verse 5 reminds us that we are unable to retrieve our wasted moments, yet are capable of employing the succeeding ones in virtue. Example, in conscious thought and application. A serious part of that conscious thought being to never question our Creator for doing so in a display of doubt and self-pity, causing the questioning itself to condemn us. Next, to meditations and an affirmation that life for the divine sparks continue after and beyond physical deviation. Knowing that this instruction of complete surrender is again presented. Know that victory is sure only when we rid ourselves of our lower self mindset, that Negro. The only way divinity can flow to your maximum benefit is through your complete surrender to the all of life, Allah most gracious and most high. Verse 9 and 10 speak to the vicissitudes which are invariably a part of life and remind us to maintain a state of equanimity in all moments. Let me scroll down, give me a second. We must also know that in humility is much honor, in glitz and glamour, much danger. Next, verse 11 is a word to the quality of life as it is livid, referencing a good death to be better than an existence of evil doing. We must value life in the perspective of its utility to others as opposed to its value to ourselves. This is summed up in the last sentence. There's also a converse message given in this sentence, which is that when the sacrifice of our life is of greater benefit to the cause, we must be willing to surrender it. Verse 12 to 15 speaks to misuse of our word sound energizations. 12 warns us to be mindful of how we view life, while 13 lays out a simple math problem. Verse 14 constitutes the equation formula through 5 factors for determining one's usage of energies, expended and time spent here on the plane of physical being. The 5 factors are infancy, second infancy, sleep, idle, thoughtless hours, and the last is sickness. Verse 15 reaffirms verse 12, while verse 16 brings 3 queries for meditation and divine response. Then in verse 17, 4 interrogatories held by a declarative statement, all this thou hast done often already, with verse 18 containing 3 ensuing inquiries. Second. And an emphatic accounting of affairs accompanied by an instruction to give thanks for that which has been given, allotted, leading us to learn to abandon complaintful thinking, speaking, and activation. When a complaint comes to mind, transform it to a blessed thought. Example, flip it. Immediately give thanks for your complaint as it precedes a blessing yet to manifest. O Allah, I can hardly wait to see your blessing coming. To this, your servant, out of this moment, Selah. Honesty, chapter 38, verse 1, is better than acquired knowledge and brings wisdom and later states. Verse 19, misvalue of life causes many to envy creatures for their divine given abilities. Verse 20, how many of us have looked at birds and envied them, longing to soar as they? Be grateful for your appointed station. Now more queries addressing lower thought patterns expressed through and in carnality. Then verse 21 ties along life to innocence of manners, with verse 22 sealing the deal, bringing the Alpha and Omega together, the question and the answer being one. Verse 23 seriously expresses the disregard lower self has for life and its balance, knowing its lower self existence is limited. Lower self persists in pursuing world enslaving ambitions and behaviors. Truly, with such a mindset, morality is a blessing. The lesson for this segment: your allotment of life is sufficient, especially when your use of life is frivolous and sorely lacking. Verse 24 speaks to the foolish state of one so frivolous, with life yet ever desiring more. The maxim, economy make it rich. We can choose a life of divine flow or self-no. A lesson highlighted by verse 25. I choose divine flow, the complete surrender to my divinity. Verse 26 explains that our abundance lies in the proper usage of our present now moment. All abundance is, all riches are in the now. Work in the present now, consciously planting divine seeds in order to harvest divine fruit in your future now. To do anything else is folly personified. Although the fullness of this chapter is plainly stated, the divine instructor chooses verses 27 to 31 to discuss life, the misuse thereof, as well as the desire for life, via an analysis of what seems to be sarcastic questions. This section seems to be a let's go over this once more moment, for miscomprehension of this lesson has fatal results. Scroll down 1 second. The first query is to why we covet life as we do, speaking to those who identify with physical existence. Example, the anatomical and physiological body. Those who thinking they are the body subject themselves to a loss of focus and thereby a loss of life. There's no coveting in divine mind. Verse 28 is a wonderfully sufficient analysis of life. Verse 29 reminds us that our habits feed themselves in the same manner as an ocean wave engrosses those preceding it. Remember this, principle is in perpetual operation. The difference in outcome is perspective. Our life functions must be rooted in our divine flow, our service to Allah, most gracious. Terrors are thoughts, and all thought manifests. We too open project our expectations into the impossibilities and miss losses, the actual possibilities in front of us. Verse 30 begins our chapter summation with a blunt word speaking to man's confused state of being. Example, the state of one operating in lower self and desiring even more is again pronounced. To clarify this further, verse 31 is a most explicit sharing of the conflicted state of such lower self thought frame. In verse 32, the benefit of virtue and reverence in the days of our youth is again stressed briefly. The sooner we eliminate the lower self process, the better. The sooner we activate ways of life through conscious divine liberty, the better. Now, one more query, verse 33, for those who persist in their folly, with the bottom line and our final maxim of this chapter, seen in verse 34. Chasing the material wastes your creative force. Example, wastes your life. Don't miss your divine purpose. Islam. That concludes the reading of the commentaries. I would like to open the floor for any brother or sister that would like to demonstrate on chapter 39.
Islam.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh, you have the floor.
Giving thanks, beloved Sheikhs. It's Deputy Sheikh Cornelius Sanders Bay, calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First and foremost, I'd like to rise to my highest of heights and give all perfect praise to our Father God Allah, acknowledging our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. I'd like to remain standing and extend those honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bay, all national officials at headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, all sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikhs, and deputy sheikesses, and all of our friends, visitors, guests, citizens, members, students, children. I greet you all with Islam. Beautiful chapter. The commentary was definitely beautiful, and I'm gonna go ahead and exercise my 5 on the chapter. Holy in chapter 39. Holy instructions from the prophet, pinnacle of wisdom. So I start off with the word pinnacle, which the definition is a high mountaintop, the best or most important part of something, the point of greatest success or achievement. And then it says a tower on the roof of a building that comes to a narrow point at the top. So I use these both to demonstrate the similarities of the physical as the spiritual. The highest point to an architectural design or body. Utilizing the word pinnacle, we can see the connection of the pineal gland. Also, in the definition, the gland is named for its shape, which resembles a pine cone. It is the highest point we can reach in our temple/body. It is a point of greatest or achievement. To decalcify the pineal gland, which is the higher self, God consciousness, the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life, and breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. And on the 12-step ladder, we ascend until we reach that pinnacle, until we reach the pinnacle of that which is spent to build the temple of perfected man, which 7 is the number of the perfect man. Wisdom is the knowledge that is gained by having many experiences in life, the natural ability to understand things that most people can't, knowledge of what is proper or reasonable. So we see that wisdom comes through knowledge, and with knowledge and wisdom, which comes an understanding. Which knowledge is a degree, which brings about wisdom, which that's also a degree, and understanding is a degree. It comes in 3s. The tassel on our fez has 360 strands, which is a ball, which symbolizes 120 degrees in knowledge. We know that we are Moorish Americans in our religion, free national name, the Constitution for the U period, S period, A period, 120 degrees in wisdom. We have naturally the ability to understand these things that most people cannot understand. We can speak on the knowledge of this. 120 degrees of understanding, which comes through knowledge and wisdom. We understand why we are Moorish Americans. We understand our religion, our free national name, the Constitution for the U period, S period, A period. We now understand the Emancipation Proclamations of President Abraham Lincoln in the 13th Amendment, Article 13, with 20 sections, being a policy of freedom for us and everyone under the divine authority of our honorable prophet, noble Jew Ali. 360 degrees, 3 plus 6 equals 9, and we have the four holes, which are on the top of the fez, are the four elements: earth, fire, water, and air. 9 plus 4 is 13. We know 13, the moon has 13 moon cycles, as the woman has 13 menstrual cycles. Islam, all right, I'll go into my demonstration. Verse 1, the demonstration of those things, that each of those things that fly need to sustain each one of them, and ends with such, and ends with an even, and ends with even such is life unto the heart of man. Life is our soul. The heart of man is not in the chest. Key 4, where is the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. The heart of man is the pineal gland. That is where we meet Allah. Verse 2, we see the attributes: bright, but it dazzles not. It's bright but not dazzling, so it doesn't catch your eye. Obscured, to make dim, so you can't. It's hard for you to see it, but it displeaseth you not, because you can't see it. And then it's sweet, but it cloyeth not. It doesn't disgust someone with the or sicken you with the excess of sweetness. Corrupt, to degrade with unsound principles or moral values. With all these things to block you from seeing it, who is he that knows its true value, when the value is hard to see on a spiritual and physical level? Verse 3, learn learn to esteem it as it art, as it art, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom. Learn respect and admiration as you ought to, then you are near the pinnacle of wisdom. Verse 4, think not with the fools, they lack knowledge and therefore lack wisdom and understanding, that nothing has more valuable. A fool knows not the value of knowledge. Do not believe what those pretend to be with don't believe with what those who pretend to be wise. They have no wisdom, as they pretend, and that you ought to condemn them. Shows the understand. Hold on. For love it not thyself, but for the good it may be of others. Shows the understanding. Love it not thyself, but for the good, what it might be to others. Gold cannot buy it for thee, neither mines of diamonds. Material things of this world cannot buy or purchase the moments thou have lost. No material thing can bring back time which has already passed. Employ the ones in the future in order and more employ the ones in the future in an order that is morally good behavior or character. Not those who think that they can buy everything with worldly riches. Verse 6, never say that it was best to have not been born, or if born, that it has been best to die early. We were all born for a reason. We don't know the day or time we're going to transition, and to call upon that time, we shouldn't. Neither question Allah. We don't question Allah, who created us in the whole universe. Good is our power. That is the higher self. The want of good is evil. The lack of or deficiency of something, the lower self. In verse 7, the fish swallowing bait, which has food, with the hook, which leads to catching and death. The lion entering the toils if he saw it was his own death. So neither were our souls to perish with the body, neither would a merciful Father have created us. Know for this reason that you shall live afterwards. Our spirit leaves the body, and we live on the spirit plane, the plane of soul. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I lost one. Hold on one second. 4. While your life is to others worth more than death, no man living to himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. It is your duty to maintain its original state. Eat to live, not live to eat. the cleansing of the body, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, eating the proper foods, adhering to our dietary laws. Verse 12. Oh, hold on 1 second. I went the wrong way. Pardon self, subhanAllah. On verse 9, though its ways are uneven, they are not all painful. Accommodate, provide room for yourself to all, the good and the bad, the positive as well as the negative. We must learn to balance evenly, higher self and lower self, where the least appearance of evil, because evil likes to hide and not show its face, suspect the greatest of danger. We can say this as a warning. Our prophet gave us a warning in 1928. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirable and are subject to all inferior names, abuses, and mistreatment that the citizens care to bestow upon them, and it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and to cling to the names and principles that delude to slavery. To our people, it is the least appearance of evil, how they have been classified and identified. They don't suspect the greatest of danger that they are in. Verse 10, when you have comfort from having less, you sleep comfortably. But when you stretch yourself on more expensive things, you have to watch out for things that can harm you. And verse 11, a good death is obtaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in life, and knowing thyself and thy Father God Allah, which is better than a life spent on a lower soul vibration and not obtaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Strive to live as Allah has given thee, not so as long as you can, but because that's being physically or mentally able. While your life is to others worth more than death, no man live unto himself. All right, verse 12. Complain not with the fool of the shortness of time. We don't count the days; we make the days count. When you care about the time and care about the days, your cares are cut short. The fool lacks knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. 13. We see one of the tools being administered to use. We use the axe to cut away the naughty, useless, and ungainly parts and make the character symmetrical. Verse 14. The second infancy of age. Infancy is recognized as the stage of life from a human's birth up until he learns how to speak, generally 1 or 2. The second infancy of age in terms of physical development. This stage of infancy witnesses the most growth. In verse 23, man who dares to enslave the world. We had a civil war over the institution of slavery, which started April 1861 and ended April 9th, 1865. By the Emancipation Proclamations of President Abraham Lincoln, freed the slaves in the South, and on November 18th, 1865, the 13th Amendment with its 20 sections abolished slavery worldwide. We were all set free without naturalization, colonization, or compensation. In 1868, we were enslaved all over again corporately by the 14th Amendment, which was ruled unconstitutional, null and void by the Supreme Court decision 109 U.S. 3, 1883. Ruled the current 13th Amendment with 2 sections, 14th and 15th Amendments, unconstitutional. This man knows he can only enjoy his tyranny for but a moment. You may get by, but you won't get over. You can only delay it. You can't stop it. What would he not do if he were immortal? They are not immortal, and they know it. We keep coming back because you can't kill or destroy energy. They pass away and don't come back. They need us to survive. We don't need them. They go about six to eight generations. They have only been here for 6,000 years. To enslave us, they have enslaved themselves. They are under the same 14th Amendment also. A person who works in a prison or is a person who is a guard who works in a prison is a prisoner himself. He is there with the prisoners and he goes home and comes back to the prison. He is a prisoner and does not realize it. And with that, I like to put a period behind my commentary and demonstration. And part of self that I was a little long-winded, but I just wanted to exercise and get on, put my spoke in the wheel. I turn the floor back to you, Sheikh. Appreciate the time.
Islam, giving thanks, Deputy Sheikh Cornelius Sanders Bay, for that full demonstration. I really appreciate the fact that you put the definition, very descriptive definition of pinnacle on the floor, and compared your demonstration to the spiritual and the physical. I think that was very important that you make that connection. So, giving thanks for the demonstration, Deputy Sheik. You did an excellent job. Islam and peace. The floor is still open for any brother or sister that would like to demonstrate on chapter 39. Please press star sign and mute your line.
Islam Sheikhs.
Islam, Deputy Sheik.
We have 29 participants on the call. Islam.
Giving thanks, Deputy Sheik. Islam. Islam family, 29. Anyone that would like to demonstrate on chapter 39? Please press star sign and mute your line.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam Sheikh, all is well?
All is well, brother. Trust that all is well with you and the family.
Indeed, indeed. Islam
You definitely
family.
have the floor.
Islam. Thank you much. Islam family, this is your brother Curtis Douglas, Eel, calling from the New York Republic. First and foremost, I rise to my highest height, giving all perfect praise to Allah, the Father and Mother God of the universe, acknowledging all ancestors, those that we know and those that are making themselves known, acknowledging all divine prophets, namely Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, and Confucius, just to name a few, honoring Noble Drew Ali in the first, second, and third form, acknowledging all sheikh, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, all members, visitors, and guests, all national officials, all under the leadership of our National Grand Sheikh Joe Biden Bey. We all Islam, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Just real quick, beautiful demonstration by Deputy Sheikh Connie Sanders Bay, just to build on the aspect of defining the word economy. For me in this chapter stood out, being that it spoke about economy as just being, for me, specifically in verse 24. It talks about, enough hast thou of life, but thou regardest it not. Thou art not in want of it, O man, but thou art prodigal. Thou throwest it lightly away, as if thou hadst more than enough, and yet thou repinest that it's not gathered again unto thee. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy. When economy is defined, I have the definition here as being the wealth and resources of a country or region, especially in terms of the production and consumption of goods and services. That was 1, 2, careful management of available resources, and from an adjective standpoint, the offering of the best value for the money. And it brings me to a thought of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali when he was in prison. One of the write-ins, and I'm paraphrasing, he basically had asked the Moors, he said he needed finance to basically scoop, like I said, I'm paraphrasing, the dirt or the things that were being said about him at that time that were untruthful, that he needed help, and the finance would basically be of benefit. I say that to say that we need to be wise how we look and interpret things, especially on this journey that we're being called back to something great in order to uplift fallen humanity. Also, a scripture that came to mind was John 4:34, where this is Jesus speak, the Nazarene, who we know the real name is Yashua. It says, "My food," said Jesus, "is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work." So we know that Prophet Noble Drew Ali clearly is the manifestation of Jesus in these days and time. And he basically was fulfilling that work of basically continuing the journey. But I also just want to say, from the 101 questionnaire, when he talks about verse 78, what are the last words that Jesus uttered? It is finished. 79, what did he have reference to? He had reference to the end of Satan. 80, did Jesus say he would return to conquer him? Yes. So we know clearly that the end of Satan was declared up. 83, when was the head of Satan taken off? 1453 Byzantine. how does that all connects? In order for us to reach the pinnacle in our life, we have to get rid of our lower self. So the prophet in the 101 questionnaire is preparing us to understand and to know that every now and then the lower self changes the verbiage and terminology, and it prevents us from reaching our highest heights, our pinnacle. What do I mean by that? It talks about what are the different names of the lower self. It talks about dragon. Let me just be specific here. In the 101 questionnaire, verse 64, number 64, give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve: Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. 65, what is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. 66, how many selves are there? 2. 67, name them: higher self and lower self. So like when the reading was being done by the Shikas, it played on just the dynamics of when we're in our lower self, what happens when we're in our lower self, what happens. And clearly, for us to reach the pinnacle, we have to be like the Nazarene, Jesus specifically, and Noble Drew Ali in what he's calling us to do, which is basically to help in his great missionary work of uplifting fallen humanity. And in order for us to live, we have to slay this beast, this dragon, Satan, Lucifer, this Negro, this black, this colored folks, etc. All these diluted names. So the diluted names back then, the descendants of Adam and Eve were called dragon, beast, etc. Later on, after it got slayed, clearly, Jesus said, it is finished. They rearrange all the names and the verbiage in modern day. Verse 86, number 86 in the 101, when it says what? Or 80, starting 85, name some of the marks that were put on the Moors of Northwest by the European nation in 1774. Like the Sheikh Corny Sanders Bay touched base just now, Deputy Sheikh, that the pale skin is basically who we know demonstrate that energy of the lower self. And they put the mark on the Moors: Negro, black, colored folks, Ethiopians. 86, Negro, a name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contains black water, and it goes down to basically address colored, black, etc. But then it calls us in 92. What title does Satan give himself? God. So we now know that we are impure when we remain in that lower self, unclean. So what does white mean? White means purity. Purity means God. God means rule of the land. So they're not calling themselves white, giving themselves that title, which is kind of comes back to, in order for us to hit that pinnacle, that first position, verse 25 here says, the wise continue to live from the first period. The fool is always beginning. So that first period is the truth of the original people, the original name for the higher self, Allah within man. So with that, I yield the floor back to you, Shikas. Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Curtis Douglas L., for that full and lengthy demonstration. And it's always great when our brothers and sisters reference definitions and the various ones so we can correlate it with the actual scriptures and the verses that we're reading. And speaking on finances and the prophet and making that correlation and that parallel uniformity with Yashua. That's very important. And I also appreciate the fact that you went back to our literature, the 101 Keys. It's always good to connect and tie the 101 Keys to our Circle 7 and any of the literature that the Prophet has brought forth for us, so we can always see ourselves and our lessons in all of our work. So giving thanks for your demonstration. And last but not least, to reach the pinnacle, we have to rid of the lower self. That was very important. And I want to thank you for putting that demonstration on the floor. Islam. Islam, before we move on, is there anyone that would like to check in that joined us? Please press star to unmute your line.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam. This is Brother Kerry Pittman, calling out of the Marion County, Florida Republic. Happy Holy Night to all the Moors on the call. Happy Holy Night to all the Moors that's going to listen in. I'm here with you guys. Everybody here is in the right place, and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Kerry Pittman, for checking in and putting your energy on the floor with the family tonight. I believe I heard another Islam coming in. Islam?
Yes, Islam, sister. Brother Andre Winbush, Detroit, Michigan, giving praise to the Most High. May Allah be in sweet and holy name and his divine love thought. As prophet in these days, our prophet, Drew Ali. Peace and love to all the Moors out there.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Wimbush Bay, for checking in with us and the family tonight. Thank you for putting your vibration on the floor. Islam. The floor is still open for any check-in. Islam?
Islam.
Islam, brother.
This is Brother Jermaine Williams L. from Detroit, Michigan, checking in. I want to say happy holy night, peace and blessings to all the Moors on the line. Islam.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Jermaine Williams L, for checking in with us and the family and sharing your vibration on the floor. Peace and love. Islam, brother.
Islam. This is Reginald Perry Bay, calling out of the Tennessee Republic. I just say happy holy night to all the Moors on the call and all over the world. Praise Allah. Praise Allah for bringing us our prophet. Islam.
Islam, brother. Can you repeat your name? My apologies.
Reginald Perry Bay.
Okay, got you. Islam, brother Reginald Perry Bay, giving thanks for you checking in with the family this evening and sharing your vibration. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
This is Brother Joseph Darvis L, calling from the Florida Republic. Would like to reach the highest high. And how are you doing tonight, Sheikhs?
I am well, brother. Trusting all is well with you and the family.
All is well. Your vibrations sound very high. Islam, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom and happy holy night to all the fellow Muslims on the call. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Joseph Pandaris L, for checking in with the family and sharing your energy and vibration. Islam. Islam family, the floor is still open for any check-in.
Islam Sheikhs.
Islam Sheikh, how you doing?
All is truly well. All is truly well. Good to hear your vibrations. Trusting you and the family well.
All is truly well. Thanks for asking.
Indeed, indeed. Islam Moors, your good brother, Sheikh Isaiah Orton Bay and family, calling out the Wayne County, Michigan Republic, checking in, giving our love and Islam, our honors, and gratitude to all of our brothers and sisters on the call with us this evening on this blessed holy day. Shabbat alaikum shalom, Shabbat alaikum shalom. Happy holy day to all my brothers and sisters, all Muslims, all across the world. Islam. Appreciate you again, Sheikhs. Islam, beloved.
Islam Sheikh Orton Bay, giving thanks for you and the family checking in and you sharing your vibration with us this evening. Islam. Islam family, the floor is still open for any check-in. All right, Islam. So the floor is still open for any brother or sister that would like to exercise their 5 on Chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. Please press star to unmute your line. Islam. So I just want to talk a little bit about this chapter. It speaks about our life function. It has to be rooted in our divine flow. So when you hear that, what does that really mean? Our life function must be rooted in our divine flow. Our life function in our divine flow. That all connects to Allah. It all connects to Allah's will, our duty as Moorish Americans, our goals, our mindset, our principles. It has to divinely flow with what we want the outcome of our life to be, our legacy, our destiny, you know? I was talking to my family the other day about legacy. My son was like, explain legacy to me. You know, he knows the meaning. He has a pretty good understanding of meaning of legacy. And he was like, you know, what is legacy? And I said, well, what is your story? What story do you want to tell not only yourself but the world? What do you want people to look back and be able to pinpoint and see that you have been able to do with your life, your works, your deeds, and your actions? What positive message do you want to leave? What positive impact do you want to place on people? When you're gone from the physical, what is it that you want people to know about you, what you have done, and how do you want it to impact these people? Because, I mean, anyone can do something. Anyone can live their life. There's a million messages. There's a billion messages. The question is, what is your message? What is your legacy? What are you trying to convey to the world? So if the goal is to be one with Allah and to tap into that God consciousness, then everything that we do have to be rooted in our higher self, and it has to divinely flow throughout the universe. So that's what I got out of this chapter. At the end of the day, it starts with a thought. They spoke about thoughts creeping in your mind and acknowledging that there's going to be times that this is going to happen. It happens to all of us. It happens to me as well. And don't beat yourself up about it. That is a natural occurrence. The question is, what are you going to do about it? When you recognize it, do you stay there or do you change your thought process? Do you say something else positive that would change your mindset and kind of take you on the right flow and the direction that you want to go? It's very important that we understand that everything starts with thought, then your words, and then it turns into action. You throw it out there. So we just have to start understanding that and correcting the way we think, the way we speak. It will change the way that we feel and then ultimately change the way we navigate. So that's the main thing that I got out of that. And we should also think about, how do we as Moorish Americans or a Moorish community, how do we actually internalize that concept? Like, we need to think about it, talk about it with our family members, with our friends, talk to Allah about it. Really think about, how do we activate this God consciousness? How do we activate trying to understand how we have to get to our higher self and pretty much have the lower self die out? We have to really thoroughly think about it and speak about it. And we can even create a personal list, a community list. And we can detail how it can be done. We can compare notes and build on it. That's something that we all can do as a Moorish family. So I just wanted to put that out there. And the floor is still open for anyone that would like to demonstrate on chapter 39. Please press star to unmute your line. Just think about it. What can we do to drown out negative thoughts, think positive, and tap into what we need to do to reach that higher self, that God consciousness? You can even press star to give an example of what it is that you do when things creep into your mind that shouldn't be there. How do you correct it? Do you use the examples that was given in this verse? Is there something else you like to do, like meditate, listen to music, pray? Um, what is it that you do? Please press star to unmute your line.
Islam,
brother.
this is Brother Gore Ill, re-rising to my highest heights. Brother Gore Ill from South Carolina, re-rising to my highest heights.
You have the floor, brother.
It was a beautiful demonstration by all the people that came after my reading, as well as your demonstration. But I'd like to go back to verse 25. The wise continueth to live from his first period. The fool is always beginning. I think that's a profound verse because that camelbacks on what you're demonstrating on, how some may beat themselves up when they fall to the trap of lower self. But as you've demonstrated, you can't stay in that space. You have to use that experience and then put it into thought not to go back to that. Then that's when you start demonstrating or start embracing being wise to not fall those traps, not fall into the traps of lower self, and then rebuke the triggers that would befall us or befall man that we would succumb to before, and to be mindful of those triggers. And then you would stay in that first period with that which would be wisdom, and not start with new beginnings from demonstrating or living or acting as a fool. And I, in my demonstration, put a period behind it and return the call back to the moderator. Islam and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Gorel, for that beautiful demonstration. And I really like something that you said in reference to being mindful of how we think, rebuking triggers. I really like that, because if you continue to rebuke something, eventually that habit, eventually it will form a habit, it will form a pattern, and it will just be in existence. So I just want to give thanks for you demonstrating and putting that on the floor and give an example of what it is that we can do and you probably do when something creeps into your mind. Giving thanks, brother. Islam. So I got a reminder. Oh, Islam, Sheikh, you got the floor.
No, go ahead. You want to complete?
No, I was just gonna say that I actually forgot to do the Shabbat prayer in the beginning and was gonna just quickly ask a volunteer if they would like to do it on the floor. Really quick.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, you want me to come on after?
No, you can demonstrate first and then we'll do that after.
Islam. All right. Appreciate you, beloved. I'll make it brief just to answer your question that you have placed on the floor. Islam Morris, your good brother, Sheikh Isaiah Orton Bay, rising to my highest heights. Giving all perfect praise to our Mother, Father God of the universe, and we Morris refer to as Allah, giving all honors to our last prophet in these last days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, the honorable prophet, noble Jew Allah, first, second, and third form. All honors to my brothers and sisters on the call. Islam, Islam, Islam. All right. What are some of the things that I would do? One of the things when I would notice or identify a thought that was not mine. In the beginning, I started off just saying, Alhamdulillah. Every time that would be my measure that I would use to help, eliminate or just push that thought to where it is, because as we know, the brain produces over, I think, what is it, about 40,000 thoughts a day. So just break that down to the minute. So just imagine what the brain is processing, things of this nature, underlining things that we may not be aware of, traumas, different type of environmental things. All these things play a factor into the thoughts that we generate. As I continue to grow and look into the lessons of Prophet Noble Ali, then it transitioned to getting into a different type of chantings, going into the mantras. Prophet Noble Ali brought that to us when we stand on our square at a 45 with our heels connected, our 5 fingers held up on one side, our 2 fingers held up on the another side, and our arms prostrate how they are. This is taking us into ancient mudras, which will again help to activate or open up those chakra centers so we can elevate that energy to that higher self. So these are just simple things that we can put into practice. Like I said, deep breathing, just taking out the time just to stop, focus on yourself, just 20 minutes out the day more, and make it aesthetic. Start making it part of your daily life. And as you see, you'll have more control. And then you'll notice that the certain things and triggers that used to aggravate or agitate one, it doesn't exist any longer, because we're dealing with a understanding now. We tapped into that knowledge, that wisdom, and understanding. So these are just simple practices that we can put into our daily life. Also, writing. Don't forget the power of writing, Moors, your intentions. Write down 5 intentions that you want to enhance or understand about yourself on a mental health aspect. And then put these intentions or these affirmations in the east part corner of your room. Read them at night before you go to bed. Read them in the morning before you start your day. And you'll start to notice different changes. If we could just you could start to write out your own history, your own autobiography. All right, your own books of how you want your weeks, your months, your years to be in alignment. So these are just simple things that I've put into practice and definitely have got results. But again, practice and trust in the process is the key. All right, you gotta make it every part of yourself. It has to become a lifestyle. Once it becomes that lifestyle, more you live that life, and then those benefits and those doorways that's open, you'll reap those benefits. Remember, the prophet said you're gonna be saved in ways you can't explain. All right, that the revolution is not gonna be televised. So everything is focusing on that, harnessing that energy, that inward bound. We want to go inward and focus on that and cultivating that energy on that subconscious level. So these are just little principles, little practices that we could put in place that's been used since ancient time, Moors, that our ancestors did just to stay in tune with the divine. So with that being stated, Sheikah, I appreciate the time. I'm going to yield the floor back to you, beloved. Islam.
Islam, giving thanks, Sheikh Orton Bay, for your demonstration. And you actually mentioned some really, really powerful things that could be done. The mantras, prayers, very powerful, very powerful. The chanting and also breathing techniques. I remember when we had the subordinate temple in New York, Sheikh Byfield Bay used to always open up the meeting with a mantra meditation, breathing. We would close our eyes. We would be really active, hands on with the meditation. And after it was done, we were so relaxed and so calm, and we were so much more receptive to the information we was about to receive. So it really does clear your mind and puts you like in a really positive mindset. I can vouch for that. And writing is always therapeutic. And it's very important. I'm glad that you brought up the traumas and the experiences that people go through in life will always form their way of thinking, and that's okay. There's always things to reverse things and to kind of clear our minds because we are who we are. We are, whatever we experience, we won't forget it, but we don't have to let it overpower us and take us over. We're strong, we're fighters, and we can rise above anything. And all of these things are tools that we can use and implement to get us there. So giving thanks for your demonstration. Before we move on, is there a volunteer that would like to read our Shabbat prayer? My apologies. I did not put it on the floor earlier. If someone would like to read it at this time, please press star to unmute your line. Islam.
Islam Sheikhs?
Yes, brother. I can hear you. Would you like to read the prayer?
Indeed, I'll take a go at it.
Okay. Is that Brother Curtis Douglas L?
Islam.
All right. Islam, brother. You have the floor.
Islam. Islam family, this is Brother Curtis Douglas from the New York Republic Rising. All praise and honors to Allah, our ancestors, all national officials, under the leadership of National Grand Chief Joe Biden, everyone of the call, Islam. Bringing in during the Sabbath, Bishmi Allah, in the name of Allah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. O Most High, Thou the greatest of all there is, Thou the all of life, the omniscient, the all provider, the all of love, we come to Thee this Sabbath Eve, grateful for Your imbuing us with the radiant substance of health these 7 days past, endowing us with a vibrant presence in all areas of our living. We thank Thee for the blessing of divine substance of wealth flowing into our lives these 7 days past, filling our lives with the abundance of greatness. We thank You for all these blessings, and we bless Thy name and worship Thee and Thee alone. We bless the creation past and pray Thou will our deeds, our works, our service to Thee, are proven in Thy sight by Your grace. We love Thee, we love Thee, we love Thee, O Most High. We bless the creation yet manifesting, thanking Thee for the breath of life and the radiant substance of health, permeating our beings, endowing us with a vibrant presence in all areas of our lives, ever praying that our deeds, our works, our service to Thee in this creation would be found approved in Thy sight, inshallah. We thank Thee for the divine substance of wealth, this creation, filling our lives with the abundance and greatness. We thank You. Truly without Thee, the all-providing, we are lost. And with Thee, the omnipotent, the victory is ever Yours. We thank You for the indwelling Spirit, speaking and directing us to the best and highest good. May we ever hear Your voice, heed Your word, and manifest Your will. May our hearts ever know Thy presence, our minds overflow with Thy thoughts, and our eyes see Thy divinity. Our mouth speaks Thy words, our hands accomplish Thy work, our feet walk Thy path. We thank You for the wisdom to know Thy will, the fortitude to manifest Thy will, the perseverance, the persistence in Thy way, in Thy will being done. We love and thank you, Divine One. We love and thank you for the ever opportunity to serve thee to accomplish thy will. Thy will be done. May thy indwelling spirit guide and protect us, this creation, as we build and manifest thy divine estate in the living now, giving thanks and praising to thee and thee alone. We love thee. We love thee. We love thee, O Most High. Amen. Ashe. Amun Ra. Selah. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Islam. Seekers, back to you.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Curtis Douglas L, for the reading of our Shabbat Unity Prayer. Giving thanks, brother. Islam, the floor is still open for anyone that would like to demonstrate on chapter 39 or give an example of how they clear their mind when negative thoughts creep into their mind. Please press star to unmute your line.
Islam.
Islam, brother.
Islam, brother Andre Winbush from Detroit, Michigan, standing on my square giving praises to the Most High. May Allah be a sweet and holy name. Honors throughout. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, first, second, and third form. Honors to Jobat Bay, National Grand Sheik. Honors to the members, well-wishers, supporters, those sick and shed in. Some things that I clear my mind, when evil thoughts come to me, I try to relate to the chapter and get into away from me all evil thoughts, get my heart fixed, because things do come at you, you do things to assist people's, or things just come to you just out of nowhere, what I'm saying? Let's get to the chapter, what chapter is this, saying, okay, wow, he didn't got over on me, what I'm saying? Okay, just stand on your square, give praises to Allah, what I'm saying? Because we always got to remember 360 is real. That karma is real. What you put out, you get back, So it's always a good thing to sit back and, like the brother said, meditate, just think of it, what I'm saying? I even think about some things I've done wrong, be honest, like, man, maybe you deserve that, what I'm saying? Think about all the things you've done, what I'm saying? You didn't did that, so now you mad when somebody come do something to you, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to chop this one up right here, so I'm getting older, what I'm saying? I can't, especially when you're dealing with them young unconscious people that don't know no better. You know better, so if you know better, you would do better. You have a constitution, you have laws, you got to obey, what I'm saying? So that, dang, this punishment is delayed, what I'm saying? This is what I get right here, well, why they do me like that, So you got to sit back and just really think of critical wisdom, the chapter we on, thinking to save yourself is your duty to preserve it, what I'm saying? Don't even get into the folly, what I'm saying? Or try not to get into folly, if somebody want to rob you, stick you up, here, go ahead, take it, you don't want to get your car up, but hey, your life is more important, what I'm saying? I mean, we be puffed up mean, but hey, don't take the car, you need it, oh, hey, I got about $50 on me, what I'm saying? Go on with it, be happy, be content, what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what could happen down the road with him of trying to get it. And then once you get home or whatever you do, you think about it, what I'm saying? Don't get upset, don't get mad. Try not to have them evil thoughts out there, and just a still small voice to talk to you. A lot of time they can talk to me, what I'm saying? And I'd be look mad, what I'm saying? Be heated up like, wow, but then they get to talking to me. And then I'd be like, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? You're right. But dang, this punishment, wow, this was on delay, but I thank God that all of them didn't come at one time. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I say peace, and that's some things that I do, meditating, trying to get things off the tip of my dome, you know what I'm saying? And just remember the wrong things I done or the wrong things I thought about, just, things just come back and knock at your door sometimes, So with that, peace and love and peace.
Islam. Giving thanks, Brother Wimbush Bay, for your demonstration with us tonight. And I think it's very important that these things we keep in our mind, like you stated, to always go into our Circle 7, always read our literature, always read the scriptures and the chapters, because there's a lesson in all of them. And it also have like a common power, I notice, when I read it, you know. I definitely love to read it, especially when I really feel like I need to read it, if you understand what I'm saying. And what I also like about your demonstration is accountability. A lot of times we do not like to take accountability for what our actions, our attitude, our deeds might play in a certain situation. And we always have to take accountability because we taking accountability means that, you know, you're willing to admit that you did something to cause certain things to transpire and to recognize that and to learn from it. So I think it's always important to take accountability and then try to correct our behavior because we are not perfect. We are striving to be perfected man. You know, that's what we're doing. So I want to give thanks for you demonstrating on the floor tonight. Islam.
Islam, Sheikah.
Islam, see, you have the floor.
Islam. Appreciate you, beloved. Real quick, before we close out, just a visual that we can look into in reference to Sheikah's question about what it is that we do in order to, you know, negate those unwanted thoughts that's not reflective of our higher self, the mother of virtues. It's a show on Netflix. It's a movie. Halle Berry plays in it. She actually is the director of the movie too, and it's called Bruised. I fell asleep on it, so I just caught some of it. But in reference to what we're speaking about, those points was in there. Halle Berry, I don't want to tell it, but she was at the top. She fell. She hit her lowest state and everything. And amongst her return, you know, she had to go find the Buddha Khan. And the Buddha Khan was the female, a sister, real dark olive sister. And when she first meet the sister, the first thing the sister doing, she's chanting. And Halle Berry goes in there and says, "Excuse me." She opened up her eyes, said, "Wait," and went back to her chanting and everything. But just pay attention to the subliminals of it. It's heavy degrees, especially with this information in reference to our sisters, who we are, who she really is, and everything, and the rebuilding process, that redemption process. It's all more science, Morris, but again, the symbology. Pay attention to the symbology and the things that are and what's being said. All right, because a lot of the degrees comes in the language, with what's being said, along with those visuals. So just check that out. It's called Bruised. It's on Netflix. I think it's like number 2 right now. It's like a number 2 out of their top 10, but real heavy movie with the symbology in reference to what we're speaking of with putting things in place to keep ourselves in the correct alignment with the divine. All right, Islam, Sheikah, appreciate you, beloved. Peace.
Islam, Sheikh. Giving thanks for actually putting that on the floor. I did see it, and I agree with what you stated in reference to, you know, without giving it away, I did make those connections. And it's so funny, it's ironic because when I saw that scene with the sister meditating, I said, "Oh, this reminds me of Baishul Bay." That's exactly what I said when I saw her, the stance and then her complexion and everything. I was just like, wow, you know. Because right?
With the height too, tall.
Yes, everything, the bill, everything. That's the first thing that I said when I saw it. So I'm laughing that you brought that up because that's exactly what I said to Kurt. And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Never mind," and I just left it like that. So thank you for sharing that, and I definitely recommend that the brothers and sisters check that out. Islam.
Indeed, and like you said, when you see the sister and her posture more, just pay attention because, like I said, when you practice and you divine, you'll be able to see it. So it ain't just in this movie. You can tell that this is really part of this sister's lifestyle, you know. So check it out, more if you get the opportunity. All right, appreciate you, Sheikah's beloved. You got it.
Thank you. Giving thanks, Sheikh. Prophet warns all Muslims governors order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must take its course. All members or groups of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their cardinal button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Ali. If you are interested in any of our Sunday School Conference playback calls, please visit our website at www.moorishamericannationalrepublic.com. Click on the Resources tab to access the recording. If you are unable to access the website, please send an email to sundayschool@moorishamericannationalrepublic.com with the dates of the calls you are interested in. We are working on a non-digital format, and we will let you know when it is ready and available. Our Moorish Town Hall call is every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 443-961-4434. Please join us every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. as we speak to questions on the divine and national side of our movement, our policy of freedom, which includes but not limited to our proclamations of emancipation by Abraham Lincoln, the President, and the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections. If interested in joining our Moorish School of Law and Light, Law and History, go to our website at www.moorishamericannationalrepublic.com. By the grace of Allah, we will be up and running in January. To enroll, click on the Resources tab, utilize our citizenship application or our Moorish School and Law and History link, and we will see you in class. We welcome you to join us for our National Holy Night called each and every Friday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a home temple but can't make it, we will be more than happy to have you. Join us at 443-961-4434 each and every Friday night at 8 o'clock p.m. See you at Holy Night. Are you a member of our Moorish American National Republic? If so, and you're in good standing, please join us. Please join us every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Moorish Members Forum call. To join the conversation, send an email to webmaster@moorishamericannationalrepublic.com. Include your name shown on your documentation, phone number, color copy of your nationality, and identification card. Send this once again to webmaster@moorishamericannationalrepublic.com, and someone will reach out to you. Our sister members in good standing, we meet every fourth Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. We are calling on all sisters in our temple to participate as we speak about topics of interest in the rising from the cares of the world. Come build with us as we use our feminine energy to strategize on how not to only uplift ourselves, but also our communities and our nation, the world as a whole, please send an email to sisterauxiliary13@gmail.com. sisterauxiliary13@gmail.com. Include your name as shown on your documentation, phone number, and email where we would like to receive your correspondence. Our Brothers in Good Standing meet every third Thursday of the month, 8 o'clock p.m., for our Moorish Men's Business Leave call. Topics discussed are geared towards building the family, economic infrastructures needed to grow productive, healthy young Moorish men to the uplift of the nation. If interested, send an email to Moorish Men's Business League at gmail.com and include your name as shown on your documentation, phone number, and email you would like to receive a correspondence. Do you use your skills and talents to the benefit of others? Would you like the opportunity to put your skills and talents to use for your benefit? Commit to the work of self-uplift. We have communities geared towards upliftment, geared towards uplifting not only the communities but our nation as a whole. Please go to our website at www.MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com, hit the resources tab, hit the committee's link, and contact the committee chair you're interested in. To enroll in our Moorish Sunday School, please send an email to sundayschool@MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com. Adults include your name, age, phone numbers, your children's name, age, school grade, birthday for each child, and someone will officially contact you and send you an email with a welcome information packet. At this time, the floor is open to any national officials that need to make an announcement. Please press ** to unmute your line.
Islam Sheikh.
Islam Sheikh.
Islam Sheikh Gordon Bay. I have an announcement that I can put on the floor. Hold on just for one moment.
Islam, you have the floor, Sheikh.
All right, thank you. All right, more. This is your good brother, Sheikh Isaiah Gordon Bay. We rising to my highest heights. Giving all perfect praise to our mother, Father God, whom we most refer to as Allah, and our last prophet in these last days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, the honorable prophet, noble Jew Allah, first, second, and third form. Islam Moors, this is update. Notice to all students, returning students, and those who are interested in enrolling in our Moorish School in Law and History. Orientation is set for January the 12th, 2022. Again, Moors, all returning students and those who are interested in enrolling into our Moorish School of Law and History. Orientation is January the 12th, 2022, and that's for the Warning Course, 1928, by our Prophet Noah Jew Ali, and that is the first class course that will be offered this coming school year. So just wanted to give everyone a heads up, those who may want to tell their family, their friends, or associates about it. Also, orientation will be the 12th of January. Islam, beloved. Appreciate you. That was it for me and the announcement, Sheikah. Peace.
Islam, Sheikh. Giving thanks for that announcement on the floor. Islam. Islam, we're going to briefly open the floor to just check and make sure that our National Grand Sheikh did not join us. Grand Sheikh, if you're on the line, please press * to unmute your line. Islam. Islam family, now it's time for us to affirm ourselves to ourselves with the reading of the Holy Covenant. Please, brothers and sisters, unmute your line. We are the children of one Father, provided for by His prayer.
We are the one Father, provided for by His prayer.
And the breast of one mother have given us suck.
and the breast of one mother hath given us suck.
Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite us with our brothers and sisters.
Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite us with our brothers and sisters.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. That
peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
And when we separate in the world, remember the relation that binded us to love and unity.
And when we
separate in the world, remember the relation that binded us to love and unity.
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
And his care be continued to us all.
And his care be continued to us all.
And our love to each other.
And our
love to each other.
Islam family, love is the key to all. Love is the key to all. I want to thank you all for calling this Friday Creation. It's always a pleasure to host this call, to feel everybody's love, their energy, and their vibration. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for the participation, and continue to call. Let's build, let's love each other, and let's grow. And with that, we will close as we open with our Moorish American prayer. All those who are able, rise, face the east, feet at a 45-degree angle, 5 fingers closed, together erect on the left, 2 fingers closed, together erect on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. Love you all, family. Peace, peace, and more peace.